Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Intellect Selectah podcast, brought to you by Balajadia Music. We have a very special guest. He's one of my old friends from back in the day in high school. He turned out to be one hell of a fighter. He's still fighting up to this day. He's a 3-time world champion in Muay Thai and 1-time world champion in mixed martial arts. The Iron Assassin, Joe Gogo. Hey, Joe, thanks for coming and joining us here on the Intellect Selectah podcast and taking some time out of your day, man, for us to get to know your story and, your journey so far.
Half a day, Par. Long time, man. Nice to see you.
Yep.
Half a day, Guam. Nice to catch up with everybody. It's good times, man. I know we're all struggling with this quarantine, but we're all gonna get through it together.
Yeah, for sure, guys. It's a joint effort,
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe, I was talking to some friends, and ironically enough, I think it's whether you're spiritual or religious, but I think it's God's way of giving us like, hey, bro, here's the reset button for you guys, real quick. I understand the rat race, and we're all trying to like hustle and grind and hustle and grind. We all want to be successful and all this, but I think it's God's way of organically making us stop, take a step back, and work on yourselves and fix yourselves. And obviously, you have to stay home with people that you love. So, like you got to work on those relationships as well.
Yeah.
It's like I went left field on that one, Par.
Hey, that's how it is, man. Freaking, we gotta stay with the current situation at hand, and of course, I'm praying for everyone back home and for all my friends and my friends' families and everyone affected. It's a big deal. It's scary at the same time, but you know, hopefully, it checks everyone in their character and the ego. It doesn't matter. It's like it's affecting everybody, and whether you're super famous or super freaking, it's affecting it. So
Yep. It doesn't matter, rich, poor, young, old, fit, healthy, not healthy. It's getting everybody now. Um, and to be honest, like I was just like a lot of people. Well, I was right in the middle. Like with most things that are kind of like this, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not 100% like, holy cow, the world's gonna end, but I'm also not like, nothing. It's a conspiracy trip or whatever, right? And so, fortunate for me though, my sister's a physician on Guam. So, I have her, I have some friends that are physicians, and, I'm not listening to just Instagram or the news or Facebook. Like, these people are literally working at the hospital every single day. Um, you know, some of these people wrote wills already. And so, it's hard to deny what's happening in our current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, man, we'll get through it. I was talking to Jason the other day, and we just gotta like try to find the positive part, and yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I think the positive part is like self-reflection. I think we're all getting to those things that we've been putting off, whether it's physically or mentally or spiritually, like whether it's the garage that you're supposed to fix long time ago, or whatever, or maybe it's that business plan you're supposed to write up a while back, or that book you're supposed to read, or and like I said, since you're stuck at home with significant others, family, or your actual spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, you have the time to honestly truly get to know each other, unless you guys are just straight up watching Netflix all day long. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting bored watching Netflix at this point, and I like watching
me too.
movies. I like watching movies. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not one of those people who are like, I'm so over watching shows that I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ran its course a little bit.
Yeah. I reached extreme boredom, bro. That's why we started this podcast too. I was like, man, I was like, yeah, let's try it out. Freaking call all the boys.
Yeah, this made you elevate your game on your podcast already.
Definitely. S-
But to bring us back to the martial arts
mhm.
stuff, I was earlier. You asked me if I'm retired or not retired, right? And like that's been a seesaw thing that I've been playing with back and forth. And with
Mhm.
this quarantine, it's actually given me a lot of time to think and see. There's a lot of stresses, right? So sometimes we think, oh, if I'm not training, somebody's trying to kick my ass. But now,
Yeah.
worldwide, even on the UFC level, boxing level, nobody's training. Or maybe you're running, doing some sit ups, some bag work,
Mhm.
but for the most part, nobody's really, really training. And yeah, man, I after a good like I think it was like day 8 or 9 when I started realizing I'm not ready to hang it up yet. I still want to compete.
Nice.
Yeah, but I
That's sick.
I I think I have made the decision though. I'm a Muay Thai fighter and that's my base, but unfortunately we live in America and Muay Thai and kickboxing hasn't reached the heights of traditional boxing or mixed martial arts. So I think I'm gonna make my way back to the cage when this is all said and done.
Nice.
Mhm. And realistically, like that's more up my alley. It's more suited to my style of fighting. It's more suited to my body type.
Mhm.
it's just more suited to me as an athlete, as a competitor.
Also, as you're aging, is it? I imagine Muay Thai is like a straight up beating. Like on
Yeah,
at least in MMA, you can like wrestle them and
yeah.
avoid damage too.
Mhm.
If you as you get older. So, but you're a three-time Muay Thai world champ. I mean, can you talk about your origins? I know if I remember correctly, you trained in Thailand too for some time.
Yeah, I trained in Thailand for 6 weeks only, but it was a great experience. The beautiful thing about Thailand is everybody flies to Thailand, so
Mm.
I got to train with people from all over the world. Um, this guy's a champion, that guy's a champion. Everybody's a champion from whatever organization, whatever style of fighting, and we're all just met at the Mecca. I trained at Tiger Muay Thai for 6 weeks. It was
Mm.
pretty badass. Yeah, but to bring it all the way back, growing up in Guam when I wasn't playing sports, because you mean you we play ball, I played ball with you, I played rugby, I played football my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on the off seasons of traditional sports, I guess you could say, or sports on off season from sports, I would go do jujitsu and stuff like that. But my fighting didn't really take off until I left Guam to Hawaii, the University of Hawaii.
Nice. How was that transition? You were in Oahu at that time?
Mhm. Honestly, I started training because I was bored. And then that's
Mm.
when I took jujitsu to another level. I started training jujitsu regularly. Um, I missed Friday night games or Saturday night games or Sunday afternoon games, whatever it was for whatever sport, playing my
Mm-hmm.
whole life. And after about a year of not doing anything or not looking forward to anything, obviously even I was getting out of shape because I'm just partying and
Yeah.
eating whatever's in front of me and clearly not working out as religiously. So I started doing jujitsu and then I started training at Chris Lieben's MMA school. And then
Cool.
yeah, so I just caught fire. I started training, taking the classes. Eventually got good enough. They asked me to come and train with the pro team and help them prepare for their fights. And kind of just got to
Nice.
that point where they're like, "Hey, bro, you're a better sparring match or match for me than my opponent is." And then just got to a point where it just took off.
Wow. That's crazy.
Uh,
So what was your fascination with you know, how did that you just saw yourself getting better and better and you got more and more stoked or
it was almost the opposite.
mm.
I didn't like that I was getting beat up. Like I would go to train and I'm like, God, everybody's beating me up, beating me up, beating me up. And every day I was just like, I'm gonna I'm gonna keep coming. Where most people would get discouraged or we don't like to fail at things, right? As
Yeah.
by nature, we don't like to fail at things. But that's what kept me going back. I was like, God, I'm so sick and tired of getting choked out, getting armbarred, getting left hook,
Yeah.
uh, kicked until I couldn't walk anymore, or maybe I'm surviving the whole round and I didn't get put away, but he definitely beat my ass this whole 5 minutes.
Mhm.
You know, so I got fascinated with it, and I get I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie too,
Mhm.
and I like the that adrenaline of combat, and
Man.
more so than combat, dude. I think it's just competition. That's one thing
Okay.
I've realized in my life. I think I just love competition.
Hmm. Man, that's awesome. Like, um, how did you get over the nerves? I mean, did you do that through, your preparation? You felt a little bit more confident, like, when you're preparing for these big, big fights, bro. Like, it's got to be scary, man.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like to this day, I'm still. It's a hybrid of being now. I got a little more years under me, so it's a hybrid of I'm scared, but I'm like crazy excited too. But in the
Mm.
beginning, I was so scared because this is fighting. Me losing isn't someone scoring a point. Me losing is getting knocked the fuck out. Like let's just be real, or getting tapped out, or my arm snapped in half. So I used to try to out train it so hard.
Mm.
I'm notorious for overtraining. I used to just go to the train and bring like 5 t-shirts, bananas, protein shakes, and stuff like that, and some protein bars, and just all right, strength and conditioning. All right, change my shirt. Boxing class. Okay, change my shirt. Jiu-jitsu. Okay, change my shirt. Then MMA practice. Whatever the curriculum of the day was, and I
Mhm.
just be at the gym for like 4 hours a day because I was trying to out train that fear. You know,
Mm.
and that was just like a lot of things in my life in general. If
Yeah.
I'm not a big guy, and so sometimes growing up, people wouldn't say I got bullied, but like people think they could check me. How Guam
Yeah,
is
yeah.
and Hawaii, and just being a smaller cat, I'd be so scared that I just did that in general in my life, like.
Mhm.
When I was training for football season or basketball season or rugby, I'd be like, dude, just train as hard as you can because eventually I'm gonna have to run into that brick wall, that 250-pound lineman, or that inside center that's also like 250 pounds from Samoa. So
Mhm.
my whole life I would out train my fear. You know,
Man,
to eventually
that's
build
sick.
some confidence.
Yeah.
And
That's
it was just like,
amazing.
yeah. Okay, if I do 300 push-ups, shit, that guy's doing 350. Fuck, I better go do 100 pull-ups then too. I better go run the mountain. You know, I better do whatever I can to over prepare.
Mhm.
So,
Wow. That's crazy, bro.
and it's true, man. I put myself in a lot of uncomfortable positions. Spar the big guy, spar the little guy, spar the fast guy, spar the more experienced guy, spar whoever I can, and get beat up, get beat up, get beat up, and eventually I stop getting beat up, and then eventually I start beating that guy up. And then
Mm.
eventually you start walking into gangsters who are like some days your teammates that are pro fighters as well. They got your number picked, and some days you got their number picked.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
But if you're a shark, you can't be the shark in the fish tank though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. Everybody has it, depending on what team you're at.
So how was it like when you were training with like you said these pros, and did you already know like right away you're like, dude, I'm on their level right now, you know what I mean? Or did you have to like snap yourself into something like that kind of mentality, or like I don't
Yeah.
know, for a beginning person trying to, get there? Like
Just like any other beginner, even like the amateurs that I help out, whether they're teammates or I'm training somebody for a fight, they need encouragement, right? I needed encouragement. I
mhm.
needed I needed my teammates that were already pros to help me out because sometimes before you get in there, you build Superman in your head, right? And this is before you ever fought, or before I ever fought. So in my mind, I was like, fuck, I don't know who I'm gonna fight, man. He's gonna be too strong. He's gonna be too fast. He's gonna know all the
Mhm.
techniques. I'm never gonna be able to do any of this, and anything that I train, I'm never gonna be able to do anything to him. And then slowly, slowly my teammates, my pro teammates, and my coaches just kind of wore me down with more information, more education, and then after a while, you start realizing everybody's human. You know,
Yeah.
we all bleed red, and we all got to take a shit.
Yeah, yeah. Right? Dude, that's crazy.
Mhm.
You know what trips me out, Prem, is like you had that work ethic even in high school when we were fucking hanging out. Like, it was just nonstop, and it was fucking train. I saw you training like a champion at that stage. I was like, God dang,
Mhm.
this guy is relentless. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And watching you, you know, freaking grow up to this, you know, awesome human being, dude, and you're a positive light on Guam, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people really appreciate and look up to you as they should, and what keeps you going? Like for me, it's affecting people in a positive way, doing the things that I'm actually good at, and then encouraging them to do it better than me or grow, make it grown, because back in the day on Guam there was no go-to
Mhm.
person. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep. No, I
So
agree, 100%. Um, I mean, yeah, in the beginning, it was just like anything else. I thought it was cool. I thought it was awesome. Then once I started thriving a little bit more, I started realizing I wanted to fight for the same reasons that you just gave. I wanted to be a stepping stone. I wanted people to see the path that I did, and then here's the path that I did. Fix
mhm.
it, make it yours, and use me as a launch pad and go further. That was my biggest dream because, yeah, coming from Guam, we're such a small island. We don't have a lot of idols pertinent to us. Yeah, we got
Yeah,
Brian and we had Michael Jordan, but that's 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 far from us.
we didn't have
And
like examples, right? Like,
yeah, we didn't have examples. And then anybody who was really good at anything, and then they got posted up, and they were Chamorro, but they weren't really born and raised on Guam Chamorro. And
yeah.
no disrespect to anybody or anything like that, but it's just the truth. It's the reality. And coming from Guam, I always give the example of like running in the red dirt, you know,
Mhm.
getting random power outages with the brown tree snake biting the power lines, the typhoons.
Mhm.
That's where I come from. That's where we came from. You
Yeah.
know, you having so many chores, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get done. Like cutting grass, and
Yeah.
you gotta go cut your grandma's grass, and I gotta go to the church and do this.
To
And you know what I mean? Like, and I just we didn't grow up with a whole lot of role models, and I wanted to be that role model for people. Um,
mhm.
and that was my driving factor. And sometimes what I've learned is it can be a double edged sword.
Yeah.
In At least in my career as a fighter, um,
Mhm.
because sometimes that was my fuel to train so hard because I want to pave the way, and I got people looking up. But then sometimes performance wise, I'm so fixated on representing home. I'm so fixated on showing the world, man, hey bro, I'm fucking tomorrow.
Mhm.
Fighting like that instead of using skills, instead of using the
Yeah.
things I've been doing, I'm trying to just brawl. So sometimes it can be a double edged sword, but at the end of the day, that's what it was about, to represent. And I'm not saying that anybody has to get a college degree, but that was one of the things that I wanted to show people. I'm like, hey man, you can get an educate. Guess what? You can do this. You can get an education. You could be an athlete. You could be a business owner. You can go anything that you want. You can go after it.
Mhm.
So that was one of my biggest things.
I gotta say, man, you did inspire me as well, dude. Because we're kind of, I guess, me, you, and Jay. We always had an eye on each other from afar. Haven't talked in years, but we always show love, and it's all about love. And we're brothers. We really hung out a lot together, and you know, I whenever I see Jay make a move and he gets a step closer to his dream, it stokes me out, and you too, and it's like it's cool. It motivates me, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, like you're now in your efforts to represent, and look at you, man. I mean, to be honest, there's not many. You're the only guy that can say that you have four world titles in, you know, three in Muay Thai and one in MMA, like from Guam. And when you look at your nieces and nephews and stuff, like they're you're a hero to them, you know. Like a lot of people don't realize that, and it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
It's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, and my we always in my family we always preach like academics, academics and athletics,
Mm-hmm.
and like you and your family as well.
Yeah.
It was just I always wanted to be multifaceted. Just I just wanted more. Like whatever I can grasp. That's what I want to do. Whatever I can get my hands on. Like I want to optimize the most out of that. I want
Yeah.
to I want to give it my full potential. And yeah, like I said, with this with this lockdown currently happening, it gave me a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been suffering a little bit of like my own personal issues, my own demons and stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I've lost my last three fights. I don't want to make excuses and stuff like that. Like they're all
No, no,
title
no.
fights, and stuff like that. And I'm only losing to the best guys in the world, and it ain't like nobody's beating my ass. I lost
Mm-hmm.
because the guy jabbed me a couple more times. Then I jabbed him. He kicked me a couple more times. Then I kicked him, and
Mm-hmm.
the decision went that way. Ain't nobody laying me out. Don't get it twisted, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nobody fuck eyed me.
Yeah, yeah.
But regardless of, I don't want that to be my comfort. Like I don't be like, well, yeah, I lost, but at least I didn't get beat up. Like, no,
Yeah, yeah.
like that's setting yourself up for failure. And like I said, I like to be uncomfortable, and that's where success comes from. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
This lockdown really did give me an opportunity to think, and fortunately for me, I really only have two professional MMA fights, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm 2-0 in pro MMA. So
Sick. Yeah.
I'm ready to go back and just give it everything I got, and just to
Break
go a
out
little.
all the tools. Break out all
Mhm,
the tools in the tool
mhm.
shed that you didn't get to break out yet, right? It's like,
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest, like one of my inspirations is Gamebred. Oh my god, I just said he's my inspiration. I'm like lost for his name. Uh, the BMF title holder, the one that just fought.
yeah, Jorge Masvidal.
Masvidal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Masvidal. Shit. Now, if you really think, like, I've actually trained with some cats in San Diego that beat Masvidal back in the day,
Mm.
and because San Diego and Florida are both alike. It's mecca for combat sports, and um, just up and down California. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, Masvidal didn't have like this great record. And then
Mm-hmm.
he took like a 2 year layoff or something like that. He was on like some show, some reality show. He came
Mm.
back and he just started beating up everybody out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Six as like a 5 second knockout. The BMF title holder now.
Yeah.
I know that's not like the most commendable thing, but I'm just saying he's beating up everybody at this point. Like if you're a UFC fighter and you see him on your roster, or you see him in the lineup, you're thinking. He gets you thinking. He's the kind of fighter that makes a fighter want to run at 5 a.m. for 6 months,
Mm.
eat breakfast. All right, now it's time to go do jujitsu. Go back home, eat lunch, do
Yeah.
whatever work you got to do, and then go back at night and spar or do your mitt work. And
Yeah.
he's the kind of guy that makes you like dial in. Like that's the kind of fighter. Like that's why I say like it's a hybrid between being scared and excited because
Oh,
people
I
that fear
see.
me, they make me want to move. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I'm at that point in my career too. Like if I catch a fight and I have to like that guy has to scare me a little bit to To me,
Who's
you want
scaring you? Who's scaring you right now? Who's the guy that will put a lot of wood on the fire for you, Prim?
in the UFC.
Let's just say any promotion. You know. I mean,
Yeah.
are you signed right now? You're
No, I'm not. I'm right now. I'm not
okay.
signed. So
So you're open right now.
I'm open right now. I will say
Solid.
this: I can't even pronounce half their names because it's the Asian Pacific region. But the One FC, those guys are gangsters, man. They just never got their limelight.
Mm.
They never got the spotlight. But some of those guys are fucking crazy.
You know what's crazy, Prim? Everybody's a nice person though. Like you ever talk to like you talk to your training partners and everything, and just me too. Like when I talk to people that fight or do different things, I'm like, dude, these guys are super nice, dude. Like I don't
Mhm.
know, and it's a genuine nice. Huh? It's not like
Yeah,
a oh,
yeah.
I'm just gonna be nice to you. You
No,
know.
it's two sides of the same coin. What I think on one end, you get power checked real quick, right? So if you're gonna walk around with lat syndrome and your chest up in the air and pop
Mm-hmm.
up at the mouth, there's a homie right there that's ready to shoot you the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
And on the other side of that, the, the therapeutic side is you exhausted everything in the gym. Like all that aggression, all of it. It's
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
you already
see.
you already sweat. You already hit things as hard as you can. You already try to choke somebody out, or sometimes
Yeah.
maybe like I said, sometimes you got choked out.
Yeah. So
But
you're
in
like
either
shit.
case, the aggression that you did have pent up in your heart or in your
Mm-hmm.
mind,
It's
it
released
dissipates.
already. Yeah.
It's released. So now after that, you're like, all right, well, there's not, now the genuine part of you can come out.
I see.
Um, and I talked to me and Jay talk a lot about like mental health, and I know it's been a terminology thrown around in the world very easily, right? But
Mm-hmm.
there is a little bit of truth to it, and there is a little bit of falseness to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people do need to be a little more gritty in their life,
Yeah.
but there
Some.
is
Yeah.
but then there is the aspect like you do have to work at it, just like how we're always saying the mind is a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
The mind is a muscle, and you gotta work at it, right? Or you gotta strengthen it. So
Mm-hmm.
mental health to me too deals with fighting. Like fighting
Mm-hmm.
helps my mental health. I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan stuff too, a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts as well.
Yep.
And he says every day we have a certain amount of energy to exhaust, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't exhaust that energy via sports or music or dance or
Yeah.
obviously fighting, then that energy gets consumed in the negative realm. You know, so what I mean, like whatever adversity comes up, you're like, you're overly aggressive because you haven't had a chance to release that energy in a different aspect, in a more positive light.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me too, it's bandwidth, right? He's always saying like we all have a certain amount of bandwidth. I mean, psychologists always say this: you have a certain amount of decision making, and then
Mm-hmm.
after that, if you exhaust it, then it becomes
You're
negative.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're like, I don't have the mental process to even care anymore. So I'm gonna give you this negative shit just to get it out of my face.
I see.
But
That's
yeah, no,
very
I
interesting,
agree,
dude.
man. A lot of fighters end up being like cool people, like relaxed, not
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful, and I think it's because you physically get your chin checked,
Mm.
and sometimes people always I get in trouble, right? Because some of my friends or my peers or surroundings, they're always like, why do you get aggressive if people are a certain way? And I tell them it's because that person never gets popped in the mouth. So they walk around acting some type of way because they know nobody's going to slap them up. Because
Yeah.
as a country, we like to sue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, go live on Guam and Hawaii and
Yeah.
sue somebody, you're gonna get embarrassed. Your family's gonna get embarrassed if you see somebody for getting slapped up.
Especially
Yeah,
if you're wrong, right?
yeah.
I
But
mean, you wouldn't get slapped up otherwise, right? So
uh,
that's the thing about growing up on Guam is like shit. If you were cool and respectful, there's no reason to get slapped up or anything like that. You know, even
yeah,
when it comes to surfing or whatever,
yeah.
it's pretty cool, man. So you start, of course, you're you're doing the kinesiology,
Mhm.
you're doing the Iron Athletics right now.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, dude, tell us more about that. Like, what do you guys do? I see on Instagram it's like some badass exercises, dude.
Well, I graduated from the University of Hawaii in kinesiology and rehabilitative sciences, and
Mm-hmm.
currently, like Iron Athletics is just the brand that I came up with. It's not necessarily that it's like, oh, you have to be a fighter or an athlete. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the way I like to train or work out is I like to move, and like so
Yeah.
people that like to train with me or train my style are people that like to move as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe we're not training for stage prep to look good in a bikini, or maybe we're not the absolute strongest guy or the
Mm-hmm.
absolute um they have the best cardio in the world, but
You guys
like
are
I like to
moving.
kind of be good
Yeah.
at everything, and also like on a skill set wise too, not simply just in the fitness part, but like like back in the day when me and you used to ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like can you ball? Can you shoot a basketball? Can you throw
Yeah.
a football? Can you do it all? Like that's what Iron Athletics is about. It's like, okay, so maybe you sacrifice a little bit of strength because you're trying to get faster. Okay, maybe you're
Mm-hmm.
not as fast because you're trying to be strong. Okay, maybe you're not
Right.
as fast and strong because you actually want to be skilled at things.
Yeah,
You know,
and that
so,
takes long too. Yeah,
and it takes long too. Exactly. So
that's cool.
it's a constant journey, and for me, that's why I've been asked to write up programs. And I'm like, man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those trainers that I can't stand behind something that I don't believe in. First and foremost, anything I make my clients do, I've already done. I've done their regimens at the hardest level that I can
Mm-hmm.
think of, or that I can possibly do myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like being one of those trainers that tells a client what to do or tell a class what to do, and then I go on my cell phone and I'm like, yeah, but I never do that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the fitness realm, there's a lot of trainers that are like that. Like, all right,
Oh,
I've never,
really?
yeah, you're gonna tell people to do all these burpees. I've never seen you do a burpee once in your life. You know,
Oh, I see.
you're gonna
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
everybody to go and run around the gym and then hit the bag and then bear crawl. I haven't seen you do it one time. Let me see it in your regimen.
Yeah.
And for me, the reason why I don't have a program is because I get bored in any one thing too long. So if I start lifting weights too long,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I want to do calisthenics and cardio more now. And if
Mm-hmm.
I start doing that too long, I'm like, now I'm like, I want to go back and pick up something heavy. And then I get to a point where like, dude, I don't want to be in four walls anymore at all for
Yeah.
myself. Because I work in the gym all day long. So at a given point, I want to get rid of it. I go to the park. What can I do? I find a stone, throw the stone. I find a
Mm-hmm.
log, squat the log. Um, do play ball, shoot hoops, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever makes us move, whatever you can sustain for your life, your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I believe in when it comes to training, when it comes to fitness in general. What can you sustain forever? It's also why I don't really give diet plans because I don't really believe in a diet plan. I believe in you should just you should eat meat.
Like principles, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you should eat vegetables. You should eat fruit. You should drink water. You should
yeah.
stay away from sugar as much as or just don't do it so often.
Mm-hmm.
You should, it's just some things I feel like it's just common sense. A
Yeah.
little bit. There is a little bit of common sense, and when people ask me, I'm like, eat whatever God made, eat way more of that. Whatever man made, eat way less of
Mm-hmm.
that. Okay? God made chicken
Hey.
and salmon and broccoli, eat that.
Yeah.
Man made Snickers bars. You know,
Mm-hmm.
come on. You can look at. You don't have to be a nutritionist. You don't have to be a physiologist. You can look, dude, and just be
Right.
like, a baby can look at both and be like, and know which one's better for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
But
that
yeah,
water's
as
freaking.
a total, Iron Athletics is just the brand I came up with, for fun.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
sick.
mhm. Iron Assassin was a funny name that came. I never had a name because
Mm-hmm.
obviously my last name's Gogo, but I was gonna fight in Lion Fight, and
Mm-hmm.
before we walked out, the announcers were like, "Hey, you need like a stage name. I need your record and all this." I was like, "All right, here's my record, X, Y, and Z, but I don't have a stage name." He's like, "No, we gotta announce you as something." And
Mm-hmm.
then what it was originally, it was the Island Assassin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But then one of the pars from Husk and Grind,
Uh-huh.
the pars from Husk and Grind, they made a little highlight tape of that fight, and they thought they heard Iron Assassin.
Oh.
I already didn't really like Island Assassin. And I was like, whatever, I'll just go with it because
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm gonna assassinate my own island.
Yeah, yeah, sounds like you're a
Yeah.
hitman, dude, like
Mhm.
on island.
Yeah. So when they said Iron Assassin, I was like, all right, I went with it. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that sounds better.
That actually is a positive because, like, if you're the island assassin, you're gonna go around beating top guys of the islands. I mean, come
I
on.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, this is
No, we're
register.
supposed to be on the same side here, guys. We go
Yeah,
out there and we beat everybody.
I know, right? Hey guys, we're on the same
Yeah.
side but different. You
Yeah.
know.
So who was your freaking mentors growing up, dude? When it came to, fighting.
Um, I want to say my auntie Maling,
Mhm.
um, my auntie, I grew up at Kamakili store in
Yeah, yeah.
Willard Hills. She was the owner,
Mm.
and rest in peace to my cousin Kenjo, at the former mayor of Jotnya.
Rest in peace, man.
He was actually my god brother too. We grew up together. But his mom was the one that got me into it. You know, she was super into taekwondo,
Hmm.
and, and we'd be in the back like jumping over laundry baskets and kicking the broomstick and,
Yeah.
and doing stretches in the back and stuff. Yeah, from time to time. So it's pretty interesting. And then yeah, I give my love for Muay Thai. My first coach gave me that love. You know,
Hmm.
his name is Arthur Wong. And when I first learned true Muay Thai, not just how to bang, but I learned
Hmm.
true Muay Thai from that guy, I fell in love. I couldn't stop doing it. And
Mm.
obviously on Guam, we're very jujitsu and wrestling heavy in our
Mm.
island. Um, so when I moved to Hawaii and I had the opportunity to work with him, man, I just fell in love with it. And like I said too, prior to him, I was at Chris Stevens Academy, and yeah, I would get a little bit of resistance from the guys as far as like, remember when I said sometimes I get beat up and then I go home and eventually, be able to match them or have my off and on days. But when I started training with Arthur and I trained with his guys, it tripped me out. To get
Hmm.
beat up in Muay Thai was a whole another level because it's pain. It's a lot of pain, you know. When you get out
Yeah.
wrestled, you're just tired, and you just know another man out wrestled you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, bro. It's like legit pain, Kind
Mhm.
of like if you want longevity in your career,
Yeah.
you don't
Mhm.
want to be a Muay Thai guy.
Yeah.
You want to be a fucking MMA fighter. So you could use those wrestling and you
Yeah.
can use those fucking, at least the attempt of it to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fucking get
Slow it
there.
down a little
You know
bit.
what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, and
but
not take 50 kicks to the leg
yeah.
before the first round's over?
Hmm. Yeah. So when I first went and trained with his guys, man, they ate me alive in full rules in Muay Thai. You know, I thought I broke my femur in half. I thought I had a fractured femur. I couldn't walk right. I remember after
Damn,
my
bro.
first hard sparring, I couldn't walk right
Mm-hmm.
for like 3 weeks, and I was tripping out. I was like, dude, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And everybody had to keep reiterating to me, it's like, nah, bro, it's just your leg's not quite conditioned for these kinds of kicks, for a proper kick.
Dude, I
To,
saw your videos, bro. You guys kick each other fucking hard, bro.
yeah, so we're good now. It's good now. It's a lot more conditioned now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny
That's
when we do
awesome.
it as a party, like a drinking game or a party joke,
Mm.
like, but especially when I go back to Guam and you're always gonna get coblat by your
Yeah.
you're always gonna get that right, and they're like, ah, boy, I bet you can't kick hard.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's been uncle or your older cousins, and they're always just gonna
Yeah.
catch you a little bit, right? So sometimes I'll give them a little love tap, leg kick, love tap, just
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
know what it's like, and know it's funny to watch them drop. It's funny to watch like the baddest motherfucker just like get a little love tap on the leg and they just drop. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
it's funny. I give you like 10%, if that.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. When's the last time you went home, dude? Fuck.
I actually went home almost like 1 year ago. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I was supposed to go again. I was supposed to go in May. I was supposed to go to Japan, for a
Mm-hmm.
week for my niece's graduation, and then I was gonna go to Guam to hang out. But
Oh, cool.
I don't know. I was supposed to be in May, and with all this stuff happening, I think we're gonna. Odds are we're gonna cancel it. Odds are I don't even think the airlines are gonna let the travel happen.
Yeah, it's crazy right now. I know it's like such a reminder, right? Like when you go to the store or whatever, and like no one's on the road or fucking
Hmm.
it's a trip, dude. I'm like,
Dude,
whoa, this is
it's
real, dude.
true.
Like
It's real.
it's almost like a stateside movie, you know? Because I live, I'm a small island boy since for a long time, and trips me out every time. Like there's no one on the road, bro. Like
It's crazy,
it's a trip.
and like I'm one of those people. I try to when I remember I wear a face mask when I go out because just for whatever, man. Right? Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm in between both. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be so arrogant, and then I'm the next one in the hospital on
Definitely.
a ventilator.
Super
But I also,
precautions.
yeah, obviously, I don't want to be so precautious that I'm like the irritating person.
The crazy guy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be a crazy person as well. So it's like you gotta find that line, and you gotta pick and choose your battles a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm tripping out. But the things
Mm-hmm.
I trip out on, yesterday I went and got groceries. I see a
Mm-hmm.
mom. I see relationships or people in a relationship wearing masks together and gloves. And then I see
Mm-hmm.
a mom with her infant strapped to her, no protection.
Yeah.
And then I've seen like vice versa. People just like not giving two shits. And then I
Mm-hmm.
see parents and kids like all suited up and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, whatever it is, man. I just think everybody needs to respect each other. So,
Yeah, I've noticed that too. A lot of people are a lot nicer right now. It's pretty
mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying. I mean, what you got? Are you doing anything right now to like? I saw this memes on Instagram, right? And it was
Mm-hmm.
like, if you come out of this 45-day uh lockdown and you didn't learn nothing or better yourself in some way, then you're the problem. Stop blaming the problem. Something
Yeah.
to that extent, right? And so,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you've been pumping out more podcasts, right? You're
Yeah. It's
trying
fun,
to get,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
and these are things that you probably would have kind of put on the back burner a little bit
Yeah,
more.
for real. I was telling Jace, I was like, bro, because he commented on my Instagram, right? And he was like, start a podcast, because I was just like sharing my little meditation thought process, and it's in hopes that people can see what I'm doing and maybe mimic it, or if or just I don't know, just to put it out there, right? Get
Yeah,
better, work on being in front of the camera and stuff.
yeah.
And
What's that process like, Par? Like, what's your meditation process like?
oh,
Like
for me, I dude, all I do, bro, is I sit outside in nature every day, and I put the phone down, put things down, and I already have gratitude, like right when I wake up. So then I go downstairs, drink my coffee. I go be outside where there's like squirrels and shit,
Mhm.
badass birds, and I'm just like, I constantly think of, okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? What can I do right now to just do the next step? And then from there, it's like, it goes into like, why do you want this shit? Like, are you scared? Why are you scared of that? And then I started like digging underneath the dirt, see what's under there. And
Mhm.
it's so what I so I it's a fun thing. It's an exploration of the mind, and when you're able to like, as a musician, like you're able to free flow stuff. You're able to think faster than you can write. And then you're like just fucking assessing all this shit, and I realized I was like, bro, like I want to give value to the younger people, even if they're not even asking for it. Maybe 10 years later they'll
Yeah,
like it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Maybe
So
if
I'm like,
they're right
oh
now they're 16, but when they're 26, they'll be
yeah,
like,
something
"Oh,
like that.
that's what he was talking about this whole time."
Yeah. So I'm like,
Remember, part we all know everything when we're 16.
yeah. Until you actually have
We
to
have
have
everything
action,
figured
right?
out, and we think we know everything, right? I mean,
Right.
now we think we know. We do know everything when we're 16.
That was yeah, yeah.
you know?
We did know some stuff. Jason was saying, dude, me and you since we were 16. Like he was like, bro, we never changed our dream, dude. And I was like, yeah,
No.
I mean, we never changed it. And it was always in good intention, you know. We want to be that like he said, something for people to stand on and be like, look at how he did it. You can do it like him, or you can do it your way without his mistakes, and then boom, you know, that
Yeah.
helps Guam. It helps
And go,
Guam like that,
yeah.
bro.
Slingshot yourself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
watch Tim, watch Jay, watch
Yeah.
Jogo's journey, and be like, all right, this is where he fucked up.
That's how they
Oh,
did it. Yeah.
yeah, try not to make
There's a
that same mistake.
there's
But
an
I know you're.
example now, you know?
There's
It's
an
like shit.
example.
We didn't have the example, name for him.
We
So
didn't have
that's
the
why
example.
here we
I
are
mean,
eating mud every day,
yeah.
you know? And eating mud, like fucking eating mud. And then you look around and you're like, dude, there's this whole trail that I over the years you're like, damn, I can't believe I made it this far.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at your skill set and you're like, dude, I don't really know anything else. So I
Yeah.
can't quit right now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like it's a tough thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot. One of the biggest questions too that I was is like, what got you into fighting? And I was like, dude, it's not even fighting. I actually never really wanted to fight. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
like, to this day, I don't like confrontation. Don't get me wrong, I like to scrap, but I don't like confrontation. I don't like, "Rrr," we're in each other's
Mm,
face, getting mad, and we're like, can we just skip that part? If we're gonna fight, let's fight. If we're not gonna
yeah.
fight, all right, bro. Jesus loves you. Have a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
day. But I always tell people it's like I actually wanted to be a professional. I wanted to be a baller, dude. We both did.
Yeah,
All
dude.
three
We
of
were
us did.
serious, bro.
We wanted to play ball, dude. That's really what I wanted to do. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
guy made me only 5'6".
I know, right?
you know,
Unfortunately, we got the short
you
end of
know.
the stick.
I know. I mean,
All we needed
realistically,
was, 6'2", and we would have
yeah.
been all right, you know?
Like, come on, you made 6'2". Because we all had the work ethic already.
Dude,
You know,
that's what I noticed, bro. Was the
you know,
work ethic, bro.
you had the skill set. I remember playing lunch ball with you, and for some reason you could grab the rim, and I was like, "How the fuck this guy grabbing the rim? Jesus, like
Dude,
he's glass down."
I was a buck 35, bro. That's how fucking skinny
I
bones.
I remember watching you grab the rim. I remember you with your ball handling skills. I used to be envious. I was like, "Man, this guy's so good," and
Dude. Like you
and that
said, man, it was just fucking hard work, dude.
hmm
Just every day dribbling the ball, you know?
every day, just consistency.
But I had a terrible shot. At least you had a better shot than me. I was fucking brick all the time, dude. But I was a good passer. I was a good passer.
You're a
I
great
was good.
passer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember those days, man.
Those
I
are good old
remember.
days, man. I really like them, you know? And then catching up with you guys like fucking what, 12 years later?
I know
It's
it's
pretty cool,
crazy, bro.
dude.
It's crazy to think like '06 was a long time ago now, bro. You gave us 2 years. You gave us 2 years a substitute, bro. It's 14 years ago.
Dude, my gosh.
Um,
That's crazy, man.
that's crazy. We're almost on to 2 decades. That shit, I
I
don't even want
know.
to think about it.
Jason was like, I'm the Filipino George Clooney because his hair is getting gray. Yeah,
It
I was
is.
like, dude, okay, okay,
I know. I get like. I know. I got like a couple streaks too and shit.
yeah.
But it's funny, man. I mean, right now, I don't know about You don't have kids, or do you have kids?
No, no kids, bro.
No kids. We might be
Uh,
the last of us from our
I
friends.
know. The cool thing is, shit, we did put in all this time, and now we're learning, everything that we're trying to do, and it's getting more and more clear. So hopefully, in the next 5 years of execution, we'll be where we want to be. We don't have normal typical lifestyles as everyone else, but thankfully, the people around us are really cool,
Mhm.
and support us.
Yeah, there's no promise in what we do. We can
No, no.
grind. We can really work super hard. And
Yeah.
like I was referring to earlier, with like sometimes with my mental health, that's what hurts me a little bit, is because
Mm-hmm.
like I work super hard to prepare for a fight, and I sacrifice a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I lose a fight, I take it so bad, and I know a lot of people are like, well, we still love you, and either you live or you learn, and all this, right?
Yeah.
Either you win or you learn, and I'm like, no, I lost. It's better. I like it. I like to know like I lost. I
Yeah.
don't really like the whole either you win or you learn. I'm gonna learn whether I win or I lose. To be honest, I'm gonna learn
Yeah.
both ways. I'm gonna learn. I could have won quicker. I could have won more efficiently. I could
Mhm.
have not got jabbed this much. I could have never got kicked. I could have blah blah blah. Right?
Right.
I learn, but what makes me have a better mindset is knowing I lost, or just admitting I lost, so
Yeah.
that way I can grow. And this is why I lost. Now let's go and rectify the situation. But to
Mhm.
be like, either you live or you learn, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn all the time, and anything I do in life, I'm gonna learn.
Yeah, I see what you're
With
saying. Because
you
if you
know,
confront it, and all of it at the same time, then you can move on from it, all of it, and at the same
hmm
time. It's like if you're trickling it, that's. I see what you're saying. It's like
yeah,
that's not a championship mindset, you know.
yeah,
The win and you learn, because you're obviously making an excuse to
you're
lose.
making an excuse. Yeah,
You
you're
know.
right, 100%. And yeah, man, I just and right now I know that I probably got a good years in me, probably another 3 to 4 years, depending on how my career unravels.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, right now in our day and age, with the emergence of just the knowledge, like how to properly prepare for any sporting event, it doesn't have to be a
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
How to undulate, how to eat, how to diet, how
Mhm.
to do all these
It's all
things.
out there. Yeah.
So now our as an athlete, your career, the longevity in your career goes a little bit longer.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I think I still got a few more years in me. My deadline used to be, I used to tell myself my deadline was going to be 33, but I don't know,
Mhm.
man.
Oh hell yeah, bro! You got a lot of years. Like you've been training smart and hard for
mm,
fucking years. Like you're not the guy in the gym like getting knocked out every fucking
mm,
time. You know.
yeah,
It's
and
like.
you have to go through that a little bit, like, don't get me wrong. I always tell upcomers, like, you gotta bang first because you gotta feel what it's like to learn
Mhm.
resilience as far as like physical pain and combative sports resilience.
Mhm.
And then after you kind of like learn that, then it becomes unnecessary to get smashed in the head all the time. But if you
Mhm.
never felt somebody's left hook or overhand right or kick to the liver, you live in this false sense of like I'm a badass or
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
because you don't know what it's like to like get cracked and be like, oh shit, I need where's my technique now? Because this guy's
Mm.
trying to take my head clean off. Um,
Yeah.
and one of the things too is like when I was in the middle of my career, I had to identify the kind of fighter that I am. Every fighter is a little different, right? There's fighters that are martial artists, like
Mhm.
they're amazing at techniques. They're great at applying all these things. What they train, they can actually do all the time. Like your Lyoto Machidas, those kinds of guys. Those are your
Mhm.
your true martial artists. Then you have your athletes that fight. Your
Mhm.
George St. That's an athlete that fights. Your Tyron
Mhm.
Woodley, that's an athlete that fights. Your even Roel Romero,
Mhm.
that's an athlete that fights. Um, then you like for me, I'm a banger. I'm a hard nosed like banger. I'm like a Jorge Masvidal. I'm a Robbie
Mhm.
Lawler. I'm that kind of a fighter. So every fight you gotta go according to you what you're good at, where your talent
Mhm.
is. And everybody's successful. Nobody, everybody's successful. It's just the way you
Mhm.
go about it. I'm the Mike Tyson of what I
Mhm.
do. I'm not a Muhammad Ali. I can't out trick you, outpoint you. I don't know how to do that. That's not my style.
Mhm.
I'm kind of
I
like
see.
I'm gonna go forward. I'm either gonna win or I'm gonna lose kind of guy.
Yeah.
I can't like out trick you. I'm not gonna be here like playing guessing games with your mind all day long. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna apply a technique. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
It got easier to pinpoint the my style and dwell into that world a lot better or more so.
That's sick, bro.
Yeah.
Shit, brother. We're approaching up an hour right now. Um, I know you're super busy, dude. Freaking, um, yeah, dude. Are you ever gonna do the courses? Like, I know you're putting. You said you didn't want to do them, bro, but I feel like maybe a few would be, great for maybe like a basics course or something like that for the youth.
Like, yeah, to
Something.
give somebody
Just
like
a
me a
downloadable like
basic.
PDF or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh,
fucking.
well, today's the second. We have till April 30th, right? So you just gave me a new goal. 28 days.
A quick PDF download.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we'll fucking we'll definitely be looking out for that, bro. Because the people here on the Intellect Selectah podcast, what it's we're all curious, We all think we can learn something from everyone. And thank you so much, Joe, for being on, dude. And is there anything you wanna like plug? Anything that you got going on? I mean, even if we said them already, and the link will be in the description below. But yeah, the floor is yours, dude.
Uh, just want to shout out, my OG coach Arthur Wong from M1, my current coach Carl from Stud Athletics. Want to thank all the pars on Guam for always opening their doors to me. Guahan Muay Thai, Crew Kev, love you, bro. JJ Ambrose, thank you so much for always showing love. Um, the boys from Crowns and Husk and Grind. Thanks for always showing love to all your fighters, and you know what? I just want to tell everybody, like, be safe, man. Be safe, and in this time right now, it's better to be safe and be wrong than be arrogant and be wrong.
Yeah.
you
Be
know?
safe, everybody. Guys, come on.
Yeah, be
Stay
safe.
clean.
Stay clean.
Dude, Joe,
I said
thanks so
I stopped.
much, bro.
I stopped saying wash your hands. Getson, wash everything.
Yeah, wash it all, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wash it all.
Wash the
Not just
car
your hands.
too. Wash the car, wash the dog, do it
Yeah,
all.
wash the car, wash the dog, wash everything.
Hey, Joe, I'll catch up with you later, brother. This has been
Okay.
fun, dude.
All
Thanks,
right,
bro.
Paul. All
Have a
right.
blessed day. Love you, bro.
You, brother. Love you too, man.
Shoot,
Peace.
you take care. See ya. Once again, guys, thanks for joining the Intellect Selectah podcast. That was episode 8. Please go follow Joe Gogo on all social media platforms at Joe_Gogo. Go check him out, man. Doing big things. Thanks, Joe. Take it easy, brother. Peace.